So I guess the role of commentator, or just gobshite, I think is probably the better term. Obviously growing up in what we do and not being ashamed or scared to vocalise, because what you'll find in a lot of sports is the polite hand clap, or, you know, just the nod. In our game we've been very vocal, because skateboarding is, you know, a very hard sport to master, really. I suppose the term getting radical sums it up. If somebody's going, you know, hell for leather, they've had a few falls, but then they end up making a trick that is quite mind-blowing. You know, normally the crowds will only respond if you're giving away a free frisbee. And some of the big corporate events, I mean, it used to break my heart, but I'd be trying to get 5,000 odd people to cheer, and there'd be nothing. As soon as you threw a wank frisbee out, or a shit t-shirt, they'd be ripping each other's arms off. So it was kind of a weird thing for me to try and make the crowd realise that, especially the younger kids, whatever they're watching in front of them, they can do it. You know, it's not a case of there's a great separation between what we do and what can be possible, you know. It's about arming the kids with the fact that scream if you want to go faster, you know, and the capabilities are there for anybody. You know, skateboarding is a very, very hard sport to master. And I feel really weird calling it a sport still, but it is, you know, what can I do? But I just guess it's about making people realise that, you know, there's no separation between the action and the crowd. You know, all the kids in that crowd have got the potential to become the world's best skateboarder. And sometimes, I know it's not in fashion's favour, but there's no logo on your soul. All the shit you so desperately want in this life, you can't pay for. And I think the sooner a lot of our younger kids realise that true spiritual wealth and happiness doesn't come from logos, you know, there is no logo internally. So it's kind of breaking down the barrier between those two things, you know, making people realise that you've got to put a lot of love into what you want, you know, and anything's achievable in this life. So when we do the events, it was about raising the bar a little, you know, because sometimes you think it's a bit of a rock and roll show and there's a bit of a separation between you. We're all one family on this planet, so our role here, especially, and my role, is to encourage a lot of the younger kids and make them realise that, yeah, they've got a shoe that looks like a fucking shark's eating it, and they're skating a dry undercover in some sketchy shops, but 10 years down the line, he could be the world's best skateboarder. He could be an ambassador, you know. So for us, the essence of what we do, I mean, obviously, is a bent piece of wood with wheels on, and we sell a lot of fancy bits and bobs as well, but it's all fun. It's a very small word, and it can change the world. So by doing the events and obviously the work we do with our community, we try and make them realise that just through a very small word can change the world, and that word is fun. So it's beautiful, really.